Alright guys, welcome to Let's Talk Television, episode 5. We're here talking about, some of the news this week. Quite a bit of news actually this week. We had a few things that I, just couldn't cover, to be honest. One of them being the Game of Thrones prequel. Some casting announcements came out for that one. But I'm not caught up with Game of Thrones, and I don't know a lot about this prequel. And to be honest, I didn't know a lot about the cast either. So all three things I don't really know much about, and so that's why I didn't talk about it. But still quite a few things to talk about. We're going to start off here with talking about the Spider-Verse, talking about TV spin-offs maybe. Sony considering TV spin-offs for that movie. And then we got stuff about some Mindhunter Season 2, the 100 Season 6 coming back. Golden Globes, we're going to talk a lot about that. So anyways, quite a few things to talk about, of course, here with this episode nonetheless. So anyways, if I don't talk about something, that you heard about or anything like that, don't be too surprised. But for those of you watching live, do really appreciate it. If you have any comments, questions, or anything like that as we go along here, I'd love to hear your thoughts on any or all of this news that we discuss. And like I said, if I'm not talking about news that you've heard, you can bring that up too. We can talk about that as well. And if you're watching afterwards, leave a comment, question. If you leave a question, I'll definitely spend some time next episode getting to that one and giving you an answer as well. So, anyways, without any further ado, let's get into then the news here. So we got 6 topics that we're going to talk about here. Of course, and then we'll end it off kind of with my weekly notables for this week. So, I don't know if you guys can tell, not, feeling the greatest, little stuffed up or whatever, but anyways, feeling definitely good enough to do the show, just if you notice that. But anyway, so yeah, let's get into it. I don't think this one will be too long of an episode, not just because there's not a whole lot of stuff, but yeah, we'll definitely get into it. So all right, so to begin here with the spotlight for this week of Let's Talk Television, we got Sony is considering Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse TV spin-off. So this article is from comicbookreference.com, although this story is kind of, broken the last couple days on some other sources as well. But quite a big one. Quite a big one, right? Because, really, really successful movie, Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse, coming out in December here. Well, actually last month already, right? We're almost halfway into January. Crazy to think about. But anyway, so Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse, very successful movie there in December. With that success, now Sony is even considering doing some TV spin-off series because of that movie and also the possibilities and the potential that movie created as well. So here we go. We'll read the article and then obviously I'll share my thoughts. So, as Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse continues to thrill audiences around the world and earn prestigious awards and nominations, Sony reportedly has plans to expand the property to television. According to the New York Times, Sony is considering making animated television series based on characters introduced in the Spider-Verse movie. While spin-off series starring Spider-Ham and Penny Parker would appear to be a no-brainer, there are contractual issues that come into play with Disney. So this is the big kind of caveat within this story here, right? So Sony relinquished the TV rights to Spider-Man in a 2009 deal with Marvel. Which resulted in the cancellation of the popular animated series, The Spectacular Spider-Man, for those of you who remember that one. In order to actively develop new animated series, including Into the Spider-Verse spin-offs, Sony would presumably need to reach a new television licensing deal with Disney. Though, given Sony's cozy relationship with Marvel, which includes a co-production agreement for Spider-Man films that permits Tom Holland's Peter Parker to inhabit the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so the Avengers movies, right? That wouldn't seem to be too difficult a task. So that's what comicbookreference.com is saying. So some interesting stuff here, right? I think just on the surface, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool, right? A lot of people enjoyed the movie. Why not make some TV series spin-offs with some of these really likable characters like Spider-Ham, Penny Parker? You can go down the line, neo-noir Spider-Man. You'd take him. I don't think Peter Parker from the movie would get one. Obviously, Miles Morales, probably not, right? They're going to be keeping to the movies, and they're probably going to get maybe their own solo movies within that Spider-Verse thing now. And probably even Spider-Gwen, I would think, would get her own maybe solo movie as well. So I think you're really looking at 3 then for the TV series spin-offs, which would be Penny Parker, Spider-Ham, and the Noir Spider-Man as well. At which, I mean, you know, those are 3 great, characters to kind of pick and get, into TV series spin-offs. I mean, for sure, right? And so, yeah, really great stuff. I think Spider-Ham is definitely a crowd favorite, right? That's, one that people would love to see, go into a TV series. Of course, these will all be animated, of course, and probably, I would think, following the same animation style as well as the movie, which is also one of the big things that stands out, too. It makes the movie very unique with the animation styles and stuff. And so it'd be really cool to actually see that on a television series, which is something that we probably have not seen ever, before. So, yeah, but it is interesting here, too, with the whole contractual agreement there with Disney in using Spider-Man in TV. And so it's interesting, is Sony willing to go as far as that and go through this and make a new deal to have these characters in some TV series? Or are they just going to go with, maybe just make a Spider-Ham movie or, a fun type of, short movie or something like that? Maybe something similar to The Incredibles 2. A lot of people wanted to see the short with the, what, I'm forgetting the name right now, but the baby, right? The baby Incredibles guy there. They wanted to see kind of like a short, movie or a short clip with him in it just because that was such a fun part of the movie and we didn't really see enough of it in the movie, right? So that's something that we could maybe see with a Spider-Ham or a Penny Parker for sure within a short movie or a short clip maybe. But anyway, so I just think this would be kind of cool. I'm down for it. I'm down for a couple spin-offs of it. And like I said, I think you have 3 spin-off possibilities. But I mean, if you keep introducing characters within this Spider-Verse now that they're calling it, the opportunities are really endless. And even if you choose just to create one TV spin-off, then you can have all these different characters come within that TV spin-off. And this is something that is really great. I mean, Greg and I talked about it on our movies show on Mondays, Let's Talk Cinema. Talked about the potential that this movie really created and brought with it with this whole introduction of the Spider universe, right? And so I think with this, we're going to see a lot of stuff, and this just has to do with all that potential that they built for themselves with introducing all these new characters and, of course, the success, right? We're not talking about this at all if this movie did not do as well as it did. So that's obviously a big part in it too. So anyways, love to hear your guys' thoughts. What characters would you like to see in spin-offs? And do you think it's worth it for Sony to go through now all these contract stuff with Disney and try to get a deal done so they can do these? Or would you rather just see them in a couple other movies, solo movies, and be done with it? So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that one. I would love to just see these TV spin-offs. I think it's worth it because I think that's the only way we're going to see a lot of attention on a Spider-Ham or a Penny Parker. I don't think you'd get that in the movies. So, in my opinion, I'd love to see it as a TV spin-off for at least one of those characters. But again, we'll have to see. The announcement right now is Sony is considering, right? So this is not confirmed. They're not in already talks with Disney. I mean, they could be, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. So right now, it's just that Sony is very well considering this, but they haven't decided quite on what they're going to do. So anyway, it's going to be interesting here. This is one that we'll probably have to follow in the next couple months, I would think, and maybe we'll hear about them, in talks with Disney about it. That would be really wicked awesome. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think of that one for sure. All right, so now let's move on to the next topic here, which was the Golden Globes. So last Sunday, the 2019 Golden Globe Awards were on, hosted by Andy Samberg and Sandra Oh. So this article here is from Entertainment News, but, pretty much every source has it out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through pretty quickly, actually, the list of winners and just give my kind of brief thoughts on what I thought of the Golden Globes. To me, just right off the bat, I think it was very disappointing, some of these categories. I thought that a lot of people maybe either didn't deserve it or the nominee field was a little bit, non-deserving. Some, got kind of snubbed, I guess. But, I mean, you're going to get that with every award show, to be fair. But I think the, problem with the Golden Globes is it's kind of that in-between of the Oscars and the Emmys, right? So you got the Emmys, which mean pretty much everything for TV, and Oscars mean everything for movies. And the Golden Globes kind of like a combination of the two, just slid in there. And so that's the problem a lot of people have with the show, and I think that kind of showed within this year's Golden Globes. I would say probably more than last year, too. I think last year was a little bit more accurate in terms of television stuff. I thought this year was rather disappointing. But anyways, those are my thoughts. If you've seen the Golden Globes, I'd love to hear your thoughts, by the way, on all these categories. Well, I'm sure even if you haven't seen them, right, you heard about it. But I will say I thought the ceremony was pretty good. Sandra and Am Sandberg actually did a really good job, I think. I was wondering how it was going to be, because two of them, to me, I mean, they're both complete opposite performers. I think he's really kind of a dry comedy guy. She doesn't quite fit that. But they actually worked really well off each other. So I will give them that. I think it was great. So anyways, let's get into the categories here. Best Television Series Drama. Unsurprisingly, this one went to The Americans. And so we got nominees of The Americans, Bodyguard, Homecoming, Killing Eve, and Pose. So, to be honest, and this is also with the Golden Globes, because the Emmys is, I believe it is June 1st to May 31st is their timeline. And that's how they do the show, and then the show will be in September. And so for Golden Globes, it's just all of 2018. So some of these shows that are in the Golden Globes will already have been announced in the Emmys, and some of them have not quite, got to the Emmys yet. So it's hard to judge until we get 2019 Emmys to see how accurate these will be, according to the Emmys, of course. But anyways, so The Americans wins Best Drama. I think that's deserved. You got Bodyguard, Homecoming, Killing Eve, Pose. I think that's pretty relevant. We want to talk about, Better Call Saul in there. And see, this is tough because it's tough to think of, which shows fit in their requirements and all that. But I think Better Call Saul would have fit in there. And I think it definitely could have been in there. A couple others could have been there, but I think Pose is definitely deserving, and I think we're going to see them at the Emmys this time around. Killing Eve, for sure, they did really well at the Emmys. Homecoming, which is a surprise, but I think it definitely deserves being there as well. So, The Americans takes home drama. All right, Best Television Series Comedy. We got Barry, The Good Place, Kidding, The Kominsky Method, and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Surprisingly enough, The Kominsky Method on Netflix won with Alan Arkin and Michael Douglas. That was a surprise to me. I mean, you tell me Barry, The Good Place, or Mrs. Maisel gets the win. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That was expected. But this one was probably maybe the biggest surprise of the night for me, that Mrs. Maisel didn't win after all of their success that they've had recently, especially with the Emmys. But you know what? Kudos to The Kominsky Method. And at the ceremony, the guy who was accepting it, I guess the showrunner, he was like dumbfounded that they won. And honestly, I mean, you can talk about how much of it is faked and whatever, but I truly do think he was surprised, because I think all of us were surprised that they won. But you know what? Kudos to them. I think the show is, I haven't seen it, but I've heard the show is really great, and it looks good. So, that's really great. All right, so then Best Television Limited Series. This one was a no-brainer. The Assassination of Gianni Versace, American Crime Story. Although for me, I think Sharp Objects is very close, maybe even better than American Crime Story. In terms of quality, though, and objectivity for me, I may have to edge out Versace a little bit over that. But in terms of actual enjoyment, I would say Sharp Objects, maybe even Escape at Dannemora, would definitely rival it, if not better. So, anyways, not a big surprise there, right? A huge success at the Emmys. Ryan Murphy got an Emmy there too, definitely deserving. And coming off of OJ, the first season, this one was a good follow-up. So, yeah, very deserved there. So, Best Performance by an Actress in a Television Series. This one went to Sandra Oh. Now, I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve it, but I think this was a big surprise. I mean, you got Katrina Balfe, Outlander, Elizabeth Moss, Sandra Oh, Julia Roberts, and Kerry Russell. So, within this, I suppose, I don't know why Evan Rachel Wood is not in there. I just thought of that. Because I think when was Westworld? Yeah, it was in February, I believe. February, March. So I don't know why in the hell Evan Rachel Wood isn't there. I think Evan Rachel Wood and Elizabeth Moss probably gave the best performances of 2018, in my opinion. Julie Roberts may be up there in terms of lead actress in a drama, but anyway, so, you know, a little bit of a surprise here. Kerry Russell definitely could have got in there. Elizabeth Moss definitely could have won. Julia Roberts too, but Sandra Oh does win, and kind of funny because she ends up hosting as well. But Killing Eve got a lot of praise. I talked about them last week's episode and saying they might be the next big thing on TV after Game of Thrones ends, and honestly, I stand by that. I think they might be. And Sandra Oh is definitely the next big thing right now in terms of actresses. So, you know what? Congratulations, Sandra Oh. A little bit surprising to me. I'm not sure if she, you know, totally edged out Kerry Russell and Elizabeth Moss here, but still, congratulations, definitely in order for that one. So, now we get Best Actor in a Drama, and we had Jason Bateman, Stephen James, Richard Madden, Billy Porter, and Matthew Rice. This was surprising. Richard Madden from Bodyguard wins. Surprising. I thought Matthew Rice definitely had this one down. He won it at the Emmys, so that one is a bit surprising to me. So then we get Best Performance by an Actress in a Comedy. Of course, this one goes to Rachel Brosnahan. This was a no-brainer. We got Kristen Bell, Candice Bergen, Alison Brie, and Deborah Messing. Yeah, I mean, okay, but Rachel Brosnahan was definitely going to win that one, especially, you know, because of the Emmys, too. Great performance in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. So, Best Performance by an Actor in a Comedy, then, goes to Michael Douglas for The Kominsky Method. And he had Bill Hader, Donald Glover, Jim Carrey, Sacha Baron Cohen up against him, and he won. Michael Douglas won for The Kominsky Method. So, a little bit unexpected. I thought Bill Hader would win. He won the Emmy, but, you know what, mix it up a little bit. So that was good. It seemed as though, you know, the Hollywood Foreign Press, the voters, really did like Kominsky Method this year. So Best Performance by an Actress in a Limited Series, this one I'm not sure about. We had Connie Britton for Dirty John, Laura Dern The Tale, Regina King for 7 Seconds, Amy Adams for Sharp Objects, and Patricia Arquette for Escape at Dannemora. And back at the Emmys, I believe Regina King took this one home, although she was in a totally different field, right? She wasn't even, Laura Dern wasn't there, Connie Britton wasn't there, Patricia Arquette wasn't there, and Amy Adams wasn't there. So she was in a completely different field, and she won that one, again, because of the different requirement timelines. But I don't know about this one. I don't know how, I mean, Patricia Arquette, I praise her performance all the way through Escape at Dannemora. What a great performance. One of the best of the year, for sure. But I don't know that she beats out Amy Adams. I don't know that she beats out Regina King. Those two gave, you know, fantastic performances. I would argue Amy Adams because I haven't seen 7 Seconds, but Amy Adams, I mean, her performance in Sharp Objects is just breathtaking, and especially due to her other success in movies and how she's done with awards there. You know, with nominations, and she's getting nominated for Vice now, or at least got nominated at the Golden Globes, probably at the Academy Awards. So, anyways, I was surprised by this one. I think definitely she deserves it, but I think Amy Adams should have edged her out for that one. But congratulations to Patricia Arquette. She did a great performance. So, then we get Actor in a Limited Series, which goes to Darren Criss. I'll keep saying this. Darren Criss gave the best performance on a television screen in 2018. That's just how it is. That isn't a subjective opinion for me. That's objectively, if you appreciate television and you watch all these other actors, Antonio Banderas, Daniel Brühl, Benedict Cumberbatch, Hugh Grant, and some of the other ones that were nominated at the Emmys too. I think you had Jeff Daniels. Who else did you have? A few other names, right? Darren Criss gave the best performance. I mean, that's just kind of what it is. His performance in American Crime Story, honestly, one of the best performances I've seen in a while. He was amazing in that, so he definitely deserved that one. All right, so then we get Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role, and the Golden Globes put supporting all together in one. So it's limited, drama, everything together, right? So we get Alex Bornstein, Mrs. Maisel, Patricia Clarkson, Sharp Objects, Penelope Cruz, Thandie Newton, which I didn't quite understand, or is that, no, that's right? Thandie Newton, yeah, so supporting actress, yeah, okay. And Yvonne Stravosky for The Handmaid's Tale. Patricia Clarkson takes this one home. I don't know if there's a reason that she doesn't take it home at the Emmys. I think it's a foregone conclusion, but anyways, we'll have to see. She gave a great performance in Sharp Objects. So, great field, though, here. Thandie Newton won the Emmy, but, of course, different field. So, yeah, really great stuff. Definitely deserved there. So then, actor in a supporting role to end things off here was Ben Whishaw from a very English Scandal. Otherwise, we got Alan Arkin, Kieran Culkin, Edgar Ramirez, and Henry Winkler. Henry Winkler took home the Emmy. So interesting stuff. I think he deserved this one. Very English Scandal. Didn't get a lot of attention otherwise, but he definitely got this one. Kieran Culkin, I love that nomination. I don't know if he deserved it, but I just love seeing that name from Succession. Love Succession. So it was great to see someone from there in the Golden Globes running. Edgar Ramirez, I think, to me personally, he takes this one home. If you're just looking at this category objectively, I think he gave best performance. But again, I haven't seen A Very English Scandal. Haven't seen Ben Wishaw's performance. So anyways, there you go. So those are the Golden Globes for 2019. Overall, again, I'd say a little bit disappointing, but I understand the winners, but I just think a little bit disappointing. It's also tough to, to compare, right, to the Emmys, because like I've been saying this whole time, the timelines are completely different, right? And so, like I said, you have actors in totally different fields in the Emmys than you do the Golden Globes, so it's tough to compare. But at the end of the day, pretty good Golden Globes, and I'm just looking forward to the Emmys now for 2019, about 9 months away, but anyways, there you go. So, really great performances here in television, and definitely The Americans, Kominsky Method, and American Crime Story were pretty much the big winners here. All right, so then let's move on then to the next topic here, which is the Punisher Season 2 trailer. Wow. So, the Punisher Season 2 trailer dropped, I believe, on Thursday. I like to say Wednesday or Thursday this week. Wow. Wow, right? So, of course, we know all the stuff that's going on with the Punisher, and I'll touch on that in just a couple minutes, but first, the trailer reads, "Back on the job, back in the fight. Season 2 of Marvel's The Punisher debuts exclusively on Netflix January 18th. So I talked about the premiere date announcement last week. January 18th is when it will drop. Of course, all 10 episodes will be on Netflix. So here are my thoughts of this trailer specifically, and then I'll give my thoughts on the upcoming season. So, great action in this trailer. I mean, the fighting scenes in this one were just awesome. The music in the background also added to these scenes. Built up some suspense, even in a trailer, right? A 2-minute trailer, and it was really great. I thought it gave us just enough of the story, not too much. Because some trailers give you a little bit too much, and it's a little bit spoiled by the time, you get around to watching the season. But I felt like it gave us just enough. It gave us, an idea of who the villains are going to be, what the storyline is going to be this season, gave us some action scenes, some fighting scenes to get us, intrigued in the season, but didn't give us too much. It didn't spoil anything. So, in that sense, I think that's the most important part of a trailer, and I think it definitely accomplished that. So there you go. John Bernthal looks great again, as Frank Castle. Really great in this trailer. It shows who the villains are, like I said. We're getting the new one who is a white supremacist, I think. I forget the name, but a bunch of that news came out too this week about that new villain, and then of course his kind of ongoing, enemy, nemesis. It looks like those two are going to partner up, so we saw that in the trailer. That was great, and I love the end scene. The end scene was maybe the best part of it. A little bit funny there, where Frank hands her the bloody money, and she's like, not suspicious at all, right, with all this. So that was nice. That was a cool little end scene there. Giving us a little bit more of, a scene playing out rather than just 2 seconds clips, back to back. But anyways, it looked really great. Overall, I really like this trailer. I mean, I thought it was very good. I haven't finished season 1 quite yet of The Punisher. I'm looking to catch up before season 2 gets on here, but I thought this trailer was better than season 1. I really did like this trailer. So, then here are my thoughts on the upcoming season for The Punisher season 2. So, it looks like I said, the two villains are kind of teaming up now against the Punisher, right? Against Frank Castle. So it looks like I said, the white supremacist and then his ongoing kind of enemy guy are going to kind of team up here and join forces and go against the Punisher. So he'll kind of have a joint enemy here in this season. But it also looks like Frank is kind of teaming up. So he's working with this girl who it looks like has similar goals and similar enemies as it seems in this trailer. Like she says, they killed everyone I loved or whatever. And Frank says, you know, I know how that feels, of course, because his family was murdered. And that's obviously what sparked him into, you know, the Punisher, right? So it looks like they kind of share common goals here and common enemies, and so it looks like they're going to work together to kind of take down these new villains, or this new duo of villains in this season. And it looks great. She looks like a great character now in season 2. I recognize the actress from somewhere. I've got to look it up, but I know who she is. I've seen her in other stuff. I just can't remember her name, but she does look really great, and it looks like she's going to be a good character here. And really just looks like more hard-hitting action and even more ruthlessness coming in season 2 here, if that's even possible, right? But yeah, really great stuff here. And it really is a shame that this probably will be the last season of The Punisher. It's not confirmed. A lot of people think it's like a foregone conclusion. I don't know if it's a foregone conclusion, but I think it's very likely that it does get canceled. So, you know what? Let's just enjoy it. I think it looks like a really great season. My only worry is if it's going to end off on a cliffhanger, because probably when they were filming and producing the season, they didn't know that all this stuff with Marvel was going to happen and that it would be canceled. So that's the thing that I'm worried about, is a kind of a cliffhanger here, and then it just kind of ends off like that. So we'll have to see. I don't think there is any doubt that we'll see the Punisher again. I just don't think he'll have a standalone series. And so, yeah, so we'll have to see how that goes. Probably we'll see him on Disney Plus or something like that when they bring in a bunch of those new shows. We'll probably see a Punisher, Daredevil, those characters probably coming into new shows on Disney Plus. But anyways, it really is a shame that this will be the last season. Loved John Bernthal, loved him in The Walking Dead, of course, loved him in pretty much all the things he's done since, so it's kind of unfortunate for him after he's gotten such a big role here, but yeah, so we'll have to see. Season 2 coming out January 18th, I'm really looking forward to it, and let me know what you guys thought of this trailer, and let me know what you guys think we'll see in Season 2. Alright, so there you go with the Punisher Season 2 trailer, really great trailer, so again, yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on that one. Alright, so now let's go to the 100, Season 6. So this article here is from TV Line, and this one, just a very short article on TV Line here. So we get the 100 Season 6 gets premiere date. And so we've been waiting on this one a little bit. It seems as though it's a little early when they usually announce the dates, but you know, I'm okay with that, right? Like that's perfectly fine. So here we go. The CW on Thursday announced when the 100 will launch Season 6, plus other springtime scheduling moves, including Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow. If you're interested in that stuff, of course, you can look it up. Some moves there for Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow, moving time slots and stuff like that. But CW, a lot of series going on right now, and a lot of series coming back in the next couple months. So a lot of stuff going on with them. So anyways, as for the 100, it will open Season 6 on Tuesday, April 30th at 9/8 Central. And so just to compare to last season's, Season 5 opened on April 24th, so very similar, and Season 4 opened on February 1st. So, in all, I think, you know, pretty common start time here, Tuesday, April 30th. In the past, I think it's been on Thursdays. I think last year was Thursdays. I could be totally wrong on that one, but I think it was. And then Season 4, I believe, was Tuesday or Wednesday. So, it seems as though it's just kind of a typical start time here for Season 6. I think a lot of fans may have thought it might have been delayed, of course, with the new storyline. Not going to spoil anything too much, but you know, if you know, you know, right? With the new kind of storyline that they're going with, and kind of this soft reboot of the show now, a lot of people may have thought that the release was going to be later this year, but no, it looks like they're going to keep on with the same schedule here, April 30th. So I'll probably get the first bit of the season, 9 episodes, and then we'll take a little bit of a break there and come back with the last few. So I do also want to show here some pictures that were released back in October, but I think they're still relevant here. So they were released by TV Line. The first look photos at Season 6 of The 100. So here are some of the pictures for this upcoming season. So there you go. So there's 3 of them there. I think there was 8 released in total. So on the left there, you see them possibly flying down to this new planet now that Monty and Harper, right, got them to on the spaceship. Crazy ending for season 5. On the right there, you see them, you know, sitting there at the campfire. Looks like they probably just touched down on the new planet, trying to figure out what to do and all that stuff. And then the bottom one, it looks like they're just on the beach there. And it looks like that will be kind of the new landscape of this new planet and new environment. So some really great pictures there. I mean, pretty revealing, to be honest. Pretty revealing of the new season, but looks really awesome, man. Looks really great. Not a lot of changes to the characters, of course, because, you know, 100 years have passed, but for them it has only been, you know, a few days, right? Because they've been in the I guess, you know, ice, sleeping. What is the word for it now? I'm blanking on that one, man. Cryo sleep. Yeah, cryo sleep is what they were in. So anyways, looks really great. Pictures look great, and the premiere date, April 30th, then coming to the CW. So I really love the way season 5 ended. Yeah, season 5 had its faults throughout, but I love the way it ended and the way that they're now soft kind of rebooting the show. I'm totally down for it, and I'm loving the new storyline that they're working with. So you know what? Count me in for Season 6. I still really enjoy Season 1 and 2 of The 100. I do really, really enjoy it. Season 3 and Season 4, Season 4 in particular, were really step downs, you know, in terms of quality, writing, just everything for me. But I do really like Season 5 now, and really getting me hyped and going into Season 6. So, you know what? April 30th, definitely I'll be watching. Let me know what you guys think of these photos, if you've already seen them, maybe, and if you'll be watching The 100 Season 6. So, anyways, guys, really great one there. Alright, so then let's move on to the next topic here, which is Mindhunter Season 2 to hit sooner than expected. So this one's from popculture.com. An interesting article here that was released just earlier this week. So here we go. Fans may be delving back in to the early days of the FBI's behavioral science unit sooner than expected, with Mindhunter Season 2 reportedly set to release on Netflix earlier than what was initially believed. The popular crime drama series, which is set in 1977 and follows FBI agents Holden Ford and Bill Tench as they develop modern serial killer profiling, has reportedly wrapped filming on its sophomore season, meaning that it could be coming to Netflix within the next few months. The series began filming for Season 2, which will include 8 episodes instead of 10, important there, in late April. That's when they started filming, with news of the most recent filming milestone being made via an Instagram post by cinematographer Eric Messerschmidt, I think how you say his name, on Friday, December 7th. So he made that Instagram post saying that filming had wrapped, right? So although no release date for the second season has officially been announced, fans have already been given their fair share of information regarding the upcoming season, which is said to deal with the Atlanta child murders. And then along with, it's expected to introduce Wayne Williams, Charles Manson, Tex Watson, David Berkowitz, and several more murderers. And then, of course, the question is then, when will it return? So, I did a video talking about this a couple months ago, where they released information about the serial killers that they'd be talking about in this season, and where they'd be going with it. But we still really don't know a release date for it. So, it is intriguing, though, to see that it will be coming back sooner than expected, or at least that's what they are claiming here. So I have to see. I'm not exactly sure, when it will be. A lot of people are kind of speculating October, right? Because that's when Season 1 came out ultimately. Back in 2017, though, Mindhunter Season 1, I loved. I really did love it. I mean, it's probably the last thing that I've binged, like truly binged, in back in 2017 October. So I would guess that if they just wrapped filming, December, right? A couple weeks ago, possibly they wrapped filming. It's going to be interesting to see, right? If it does come back sooner than October, maybe in the summer here for Netflix, we'll have to see, right? I mean, it really is just speculation at this point still, because we don't have any trailers, any teasers, nothing out yet, including a release date. So anyways, I'm really looking forward to Mindhunter Season 2. I think a lot of people will probably forgot about it by now. I still don't understand exactly why they took 2 years between seasons. I do understand a lot of money. This show is like massive budget, I believe. And of course the actors. Jonathan. I forget his name now. Wow. Holden Ford and Bill Tench. Those are the character names, of course. Holt McCallany and Jonathan Groff, that's what it is. So Jonathan Groff, Holt McKinney, and of course David Fincher is the one, involved with this one directing, and he's amazing. So anyway, season 1 was really great, and it sounds like they're getting into a lot of good stuff here with season 2. Well, good, obviously not really, but I mean the way that they're going to show it will probably be impressive in terms of quality and the way they tackle these things. So I thought they did an amazing job with season 1 doing this, and season 2 I'm so hyped for. 8 episodes instead of 10, and so we'll have to see how this turns out. But anyways, let me know if you're excited for season 2. Let me know if you even remember Mindhunter season 1. I know probably a lot of people watched it, and by now they honestly probably forget it. But anyways, I'm just happy that we'll see it returning. So yeah, anyways, looking forward to that one. All right, so then lastly, to end things off here, talking about Suits and Meghan Markle. So this one is very interesting. All right. So this one is from Cosmopolitan here, but also I believe the New York Times, or no, Daily Mail was the one who reported on this one as well. So it looks like there's a slim possibility that former American TV star and current British royal Meghan Markle might return to television. Daily Mail reports that NBC, responsible for producing Suits, is eager to get Meghan to reprise her role in Suits, and is even willing to offer her millions of dollars for the charity of her choosing. But before you get too excited to see Meghan whip out her acting skills, it looks like all the Suits team is asking for is a quick cameo, a 2-minute clip that would be shot in England. According to a source, the shooting could be done in less than a day, and the storyline might mirror Meghan's real life, as in they may have her, pregnant and happy living with Mike in the UK. This doesn't sound like something that the Queen would go for, but with a potential payday of, $2 to $6 million for charity, it also doesn't seem completely impossible. So currently with Suits going on right now with season 8, they've switched it all up, right? Meghan Markle, Patrick J. Adams departed at the end of season 7, of course. All Suits fans knows, pretty much everyone knows, right? Now with Meghan Markle, becoming, British royal and all that. But anyway, so it would be great to see her back in terms of, little cameo. Maybe in Patrick J. Adams makes an appearance with her. I still think that they're going to have Patrick J. Adams come back within season 8 here, because it's not like he moved to Britain and is kind of unable to act. He's still in the U.S., I believe, and he's still available. It's just that he kind of left the show to make the story make sense ultimately, and to give some correlation with this plot, right? And so anyways, so it would be great to see both of them return. I mean, but for Meghan Markle, I think a cameo is pretty much all you could expect if she were to return. And I'm not surprised that Suits is offering her millions, right, to make a cameo, especially due to her real, popularity right now, too. You bring her back to Suits, even, non-Suits fans may even tune into that episode, or at least it'll get a lot of buzz, a lot of attention with Meghan Markle returning. So we'll have to see if it happens, if she's able to. I think Meghan Markle would definitely go for it. Like they say, it does seem like something the Queen would go for. But, we'll see. I mean, it would be great to see, I think, having a little cameo in there, maybe at the end of season 8 with something happening, or, Harvey calls in, Donna calls Meghan, and we see a little bit of that. That would be really cool. But anyways, we'll see what happens. It would be kind of a cool thing to see going forward. It's not a needed thing, especially the way they've kind of directed the storyline. It really is kind of a reboot of the show now without them two there. Kind of a whole new storyline with these new characters, including Katherine Hagel. But it would be kind of cool to kind of squeeze that in there with Season 8, and I definitely see Suits open to doing that. It's just whether Meghan Markle is kind of able to with her current arrangements. So anyways, let me know what you think of that one, Suits fans. Would you like to see Meghan Markle back? Just some interesting stuff there. Alright, so then let's end off the episode here then with my weekly notables from this week in television. And of course, these are going over then my, notable episode and notable performance from this week in television, only based on episodes that I've seen this week. So, okay, so Adrian comments here. Thanks, Adrian, for tuning in. Just before I get to that. So question, what's your favorite long-running series and favorite recent series? Oh, man. All right. I'll quickly answer that and then get to my weekly notables and end things off. So, my favorite long-running series, I have to say Breaking Bad. I think that's what you're asking, like all-time series, Breaking Bad. Walking Dead would be second, and probably I would say Suits would be my third. Better Call Saul getting up there, probably fourth, and then from there, I'm not really sure. Suits, I mean, of course, that's a subjective list. I'm not saying those are the 4 best shows ever made, but for me, subjectively, Breaking Bad's up there, Walking Dead probably number 2. My current series that's running right now, Walking Dead is obviously up there. The 100 is probably up there. Even Mindhunter, I mean, I love Mindhunter. Better Call Saul is up there. Yeah, so, probably around the same shows. I know a lot of people love The Wire, The Sopranos. Those are big ones. But for me, yeah, those are really mine. But I did put together a top 15 TV shows of all time list in 2018. But I'm probably going to update that and do that in 2019 too in the coming months. But yeah, great question, Adrian. It does fluctuate, though, too, right? It just depends on kind of what's going on right now and what shows I'm really liking at the moment. But anyways, thanks for the question, man. All right, so weekly nobles, just end things off here. So my noble episode for this week was Project Blue Book, Season 1, Episode 1, The Fuller Dog Fight. I did my review on this one on my review channel there, Chatterbox Reviews. And you know what? It wasn't a really impressive episode. It didn't really exceed, my expectations. I went into it with pretty low expectations, though, to be fair. And so for me, it was satisfying enough. And I think it's an interesting and intriguing, show going forward. But I did really like this episode. I thought it was good. Notable performance is also from that. Aidan Gillen, of course, Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. He's doing really great. He's going to be the star of this new show, Project Blue Book, on History Channel. I suggest you check out the pilot, see if you like it. I'm not sure if it'll do, if everyone will enjoy it, but it is a pretty good show. I definitely see the quality put into it, if nothing else. And so, yeah, I do suggest you check it out. But anyways, Aidan Gillen, amazing job in this one. It looks like he's going to be the main character, starring in this alongside Neil McDonough, too. He was great in this episode. So, anyways, those are my weekly notes from this week. Thanks, Adrian, and a couple other people in here. I do really appreciate you guys tuning in live. But that'll just about do it for Let's Talk Television, Episode 5. We'll see you guys next week then, breaking down, again, news around this time on Saturday evening. I like to do these episodes. So anyways, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. Love to hear your guys' thoughts on some of this stuff. And definitely, what shows are you watching right now? Love to hear that as well. So anyways, again, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. Let's Talk Television, and we'll see you guys next week. All right, guys, thanks.